welcome to our Plugs Community Connection. I am your host, DJ Kitty Cat, with my sister co-host, Miss Morningstar on WKRA 92.7 FM The Change. If you're looking for the best in news, current events, community outreach programs, and shopping connections, you've come to the right place. We've got a great mix of content and community connections lined up for you this evening, along with special guest interviews. So, grab your favorite drink of choice, turn up the volume, and let's get into it.
Good morning, WKRA 92.7, The Change. It is DJ Kitty here with my co-host, Miss Morningstar from Our Plugs, the Community Connection. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday, happy Good Friday. Seems like I haven't been on all week. Good morning, good morning. I've been a bit under the weather, so my sister, Miss Morningstar, has been holding it down and taking care of business while I was on the road to recovery. I am feeling a tad bit better, and I'm just happy to be back. So good morning. How are you, sis?
Good morning. Welcome back. Glad
Thank
you're
you.
feeling
Thank you.
better. Glad
Thank
to see your face. Good
Yes.
to see you. Good
Yes.
morning, WKRA and Radio Land. Happy Friday. Y'all know I love Fridays. It's the best day of the week.
Absolutely. I don't know. Saturday's my best day of the week. I don't even have to go to work at all.
Saturday is cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's good.
Saturday is cool.
It's just go too quick. But
yes, I don't know who created this 5 on, 2 off. That's crazy. We need to reevaluate that schedule. But
you ain't lying. Yes.
good morning. So how have you been? You've been okay?
Oh yeah, I've been doing good. I had a little under the weather kind of feeling this week, but I'm doing good. Doing good.
Absolutely. You know, I'm gonna tell everybody, please drink your water, drink your vitamins. What is it? Vitamin C, vitamin D. Take your vitamins. Stay up on it because this weather we're dealing with pollen, flu, and the cooties. Let's just put it like that. We've got the cooties
Let's
out
just
here.
call it what it is, right?
Call it what it is, especially since folks aren't reporting. But we gonna get into that a little bit later.
Okay.
But pull up. I hope you've had your breakfast by now. If not, grab you something good to eat and tune in. We've got it's a freestyle Friday, allegedly Friday, a gossip Friday. We're gonna just kick back and have some fun today for the most part. But before we get started, as usual, we have to start with a positive affirmation, and we get that information from our affirmation queen, Miss Morningstar. Hey, hon, what do you have for us this morning?
All right, guys. So we are rolling into this weekend, and I've been finding nice little affirmations to kind of wind you into the weekend. But also, I got a few other ones I'm gonna intertwine in that about making you feel people keeping you supported, and also opportunity to being grateful, for opportunities and stuff. So let's get into it. So the lasting impact of Saturday affirmations. Saturday affirmations are a great way to make your weekend even better by kicking off your day with positive thoughts. So you want to wake up, you want to say some positive things like, it's a beautiful day, it's going to be a great weekend, we're going to celebrate, we're going to, rest, we're going to drink some coffee, have some tea. Just putting positive energy into the air immediately when you wake up. Set yourself up to enjoy the presence of what's going to happen in the future of your weekend. And this will help you lead to a joyful weekend. Also, why not make Saturday affirmations like part of your your weekend routine? Wake up every day, whether it's, sipping on coffee in the morning, getting ready to head out and run errands, or do any potential beauty for the day, like spa days or whatever. Make sure you start it off with some positive thoughts and things to help you get and stay motivated.
Yes.
And in intertwining with that, choose and find people to make you feel safe and supported. When you are around people who have your back and are in your corner, you feel validated, you feel understood. Make sure you feel empowered by any aspects of your life and create a community or get in a community that helps you build those positive attributes. Also, I am grateful for the opportunity to live my truth. Always live your truth, guys. Our ancestors, they had to go through a lot of injustices and see, a lot of changes in this world, and which led to us to be free individuals. And I know right now it's tough because we're facing uh, a time where people are trying to strip those freedoms from us. So even though we know how far we've come, it's still so easy to kind of get caught up in what we don't have or wish we had. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, so to intertwine that with your weekend, just be grateful. Say some positive things, bring some positive energy to you, practice gratitude, maintain a positive outlook, and be thankful for what you have and be open to receiving whatever's coming your way.
I love
That's
that.
our affirmation today.
I love that. That's a good way to start the weekend, staying positive and
Mm-hmm.
telling yourself, look in the mirror and love the skin you're in, love yourself because, hey, all we have is this
That's
one life.
it.
We don't get a second.
Enjoy
We
it.
don't do a do-over. So enjoy it. You're right. I always tell myself as well as my children growing up, you only have this day. You'll never have another April 17th or April 18th, 2025. You'll never have another one.
Yep.
So enjoy this day.
Yep.
Speaking of which, we've got some good weather. Let's jump right into the good weather. Now, you know me. I love some good weather. I don't like it too hot, and I definitely don't like it too cold. That's why I couldn't take it in my hometown. It was way too cold. Okay, so Holly Springs, we have a high of 83. That's some good weather. And a low of 66. It's a little cloudy in the morning, but it's gonna, the sun will come out and it's gonna be a little windy. Winds coming out of the south from 10 to 20 miles per hour. Memphis, 83. Now I'm liking this 83-degree weather. I'm a little jealous, Holly Springs and Memphis. Memphis, you have a low of 69. It's gonna be cloudy and partly sunny throughout the day. Winds are coming south southwest, 15 to 25 miles per hour. Send some our way, please.
Not
Now,
bad. That's
not bad
nice.
at all.
Mm-hmm.
Hot Houston, how y'all doing? A high of 87, low of 74. I like the low, but that 87, we're creeping on up there. We are creeping on up there. It's going to be cloudy, partly cloudy pretty much all day. Sun will come out, windy, pretty windy today. Winds coming out of the south, 20 to 30 miles per hour. So it's going to be a windy day. Now, I appreciate the wind because at least it's blowing and maybe it'll blow some of the pollen off of my black/green car right now because that's exactly what it is. It's black and green.
I enjoy the wind when we can catch that breeze because
Me too.
sometimes you know how I get in Houston, you might feel like you're suffocating.
Absolutely. Have you ever
So
been to Arizona though?
I have.
Yeah,
Woo.
now that's a different kind of heat. That's the
That
type of heat.
is.
As soon as you step out the airport, if you're not ready, please get ready. They need to warn people. Please
Yeah.
have your asthma pump ready when you step out the
It's very
airport.
dry.
It's very dry and it's
It's dry.
suffocating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
actually burnt my leg on you know how the metal part of the seatbelt?
Oh, I bet you did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like 9 o'clock in the morning, 118 degrees. I thought I was going to unalive.
That people shouldn't have to live like that, y'all.
That's just
That's
brutal.
just not right.
That's not. But we
People shouldn't have
complain,
to
but the
live like
folks
that. That
in
ain't living.
Iraq and Afghanistan, they live in heat. It's no, it is
And
hot.
they wear a lot of cloth to protect them
Yes,
from the
they
sun
have
and the heat.
to. Yeah,
Baby, I pass out under that. Woo.
yeah, I'm good. I'm good
But
on
let's
all
be
that.
grateful for our
There
weather
you
here,
go.
huh?
Be grateful for it. So breaking news, current events, current news. We're gonna talk about a couple things, but we do have some exciting guests with us today
Oh
because
yeah.
today is Fun Friday. We're gonna get into some gossip, politics, and allegedly, you know. So but before we get into that, let's talk about this shooting at Florida State
Yeah.
University today or yesterday. Gun control. That's what I'm going to say. Gun control. You know, we can't expect people to do, what are we expecting them to do? You purchase a weapon, and some of these weapons are weapons of mass destruction that they use in war and war only, and they're on the streets. Why do you need it? Number one. Number two, our children, our young adults are obviously, some of them are obviously going through some things, and mental health is real. However, you have to be sick and pretty evil to go in and mass unalive people for no reason. You know, who hasn't just walked into a grocery store, or, you're going about our life. We all have lives. We just walking through this life, and to not feel safe. It's sad, but I'd say gun control. I really do.
We've been screaming this, throughout the years with all these school shootings and,
Yes,
the type of weapons. In this particular case, this young man, 20 years old, the son of a sheriff deputy, he had a handgun. He used a handgun. But the point is, and he had a rifle, apparently. He had both. He was able to have accessibility to this. Now,
there you go.
the thing is, questions. As the parent of this 20-year-old child, did you catch any signs that your son, and you're a deputy, did you catch any signs that maybe I need to lock up my weapons around my son?
Maybe.
Maybe he's distressed. What's going on? I mean, not to blame the parent, but just to think like these things are repetitive and you think it will never happen to you, but then we have it happening again.
Once again. And
Again and again.
you have to say to yourself, when does it stop? How does it stop? And I'm going to just say it. Other countries don't have this issue. Why don't other countries have this issue? Why don't other countries have the same
Because
issues
they
that we
get
have?
it. They
They
get it.
do. And they're looking out for their people
Yeah.
versus the pocketbook. And I mean that. Other
Yeah.
countries are looking out for their citizens, their people. I have learned, and I think anyone who is paying attention can see that this country isn't doesn't care about its people.
Hmm.
It's all about the pocketbook.
It
It
is.
it
And
really and truly is.
other countries notice that about the United States.
Yes.
And they're exposing us as
Yes.
they should.
As they should.
As they should.
30 years
Expose
ago.
us for
Yes, please
all
do.
the faults and the all the things that we have our leadership has done and
Yeah.
not done the right thing to
Yeah.
protect the citizens.
Because it's always about the money
It's
and the
always about
bottom line.
money.
It's never about the citizens. It's never about what's best for the country. It's always about shareholders and the bottom line. And yet here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are wondering, how can we make life better for the next generation? Yet this generation, we're stuck. Now we're at a crossroads where the country is being held hostage by some criminals.
Yep.
And
Decepticons, baby.
Decepticons. And these criminals are running rampant. They are
Hmm.
stealing and pillaging and taking whatever they can. And for the life of me, it behooves me that people that support them can't see that it's truly affecting them as well. But you know why it doesn't bother them? Because they hate the same people.
Yeah.
And they think that those people that still support this administration, they think that this is a good thing as long as it's hurting everyone else, not realizing that the hell you dig for us is the same one you will actually be in.
You're
Please
lying.
understand, you will lie in it.
And
But
you'll probably lie in it before the ones that you think you digging it for.
thank you, because while you were busy hating, we were educating ourselves. I'm going to leave it at that. WKRA 92.7 The Change. This is DJ Kitty with my co-host, Miss Morningstar. We're just bringing y'all the facts. You know, we don't make the news, we just report it. And the fact of the matter is, we have been led down a dark path in this country where the dollar is more important than human life. And we have an administration that could care less about human life. I mean, look, they won't even bring a man who wasn't, they said that he was part of MS-13 and shipped him off to El Salvador. Now they say he's not, and they still won't bring him home. The Supreme Court told him to bring him home. The judge told him to bring him home. And this, what did this administration say? We're not going to do it. You defiant.
Now we have reached a new level in this whole dictatorship that I believe is forming, or it has formed.
It has formed.
We're under a dictatorship. We've reached a level as to now the defiance of the highest courts. No checks and balances anymore.
None.
So yeah, we're really we're in a scary time, guys. We are. And I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I ain't gonna try to spare your feelings. It is what it is.
Yeah. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But what we're doing is we are banding together so that we can make a way out of no way. You know, if we sat back and we just said, oh, well, we're just going to lay down and take it. I'm not laying down and taking anything. My ancestors said, get up. If you do nothing else, use your brain, use your voice, come together, forge together. You know, you don't have to. They didn't sit back and take it.
No.
You know, it took them a while to say, you know, and we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. But I'm just going to say this, you know, when our ancestors were brought over here unwillingly, by the way, when they were brought over here, they were told to stop believing in their faith and told to believe in a Bible. And told to believe, and hey, if you believe in that is just fine. But they beat the drive out of, they tried to. But our ancestors fought back. We are our ancestors. Our kids deserve better. All kids deserve better. Because I know for a fact, the white people that I know don't want this for their kids either. The ones that I associate with. Now, obviously, there are some who did want this because they voted for this administration. How's that vote going? How you liking it now? Hate is expensive.
Hate is very expensive.
Hate is expensive.
And we need to ask ourselves, you know, why? Why are kids full of rage like this?
Why?
Why are they raging? And these are high school, college children. Why are you so full of evil, and why are you so full of anger? And why is it so easy for you to take a life?
Why is it so easy for you to escalate? And why can't you be peaceful? You know? But we will definitely get into that. You know, we're gonna touch on a couple things, and you know, it's a hot topic right now. And I have my opinions, and these are my opinions, and it doesn't reflect on the station, but these are my opinions, and some people may agree, some people may not. It makes me no difference. I'm gonna say what's on my heart, as well as Miss Morningstar. But I really need us as a nation to seriously take a good, long, strong look in the mirror and figure out what it is that they're going to do.
Let me tell you something before, I know we're getting ready to take a quick break, but the POTUS, the leader of this nation right now, is the example that's being set for a world of people who feel empowered now. Because they have a bully. They have a person who is around pure bullying. Yeah. Bullying now the federal chair You know, the Federal Reserve.
Can't wait till Powell gets out.
He's gonna, with his quote was, "Be out of here real fast if I told him to resign." You don't have any control over firing this man, sir.
You said it right, ma'am.
Ma'am, sir. You don't
Ma'am,
have any
sir,
control
ma'am.
over firing this man. He's doing his job, and he's telling the truth to the American people about how interest rates are going to most likely go up because of your terror. Listen, either you want to know the truth or you want to live in a lie, and you just want to wait for it to hit you in the face when you didn't expect. At least you could be prepared for what's coming.
Please do. Please be prepared. Prepare yourself. Prepare the others. PTO.
But if you don't go with his agenda, you are immediately attacked. You are immediately threatened for your job and the loss of your livelihood because you did not agree with his agenda. You are not and that's the sign of a dictator, guys.
It's a dictator and it's a bully. And that's why we are dealing with the things that we're dealing with. And these children are so confused, and we see so many people going off the handle because you're putting that in the atmosphere. Mm-hmm. Instead of being a leader and leading this country in a positive manner, you decided to be a dictator. Dictator.
Yeah.
Into
real strong, real bigly words.
Bigly. Bigly. You are listening to WKRA 92.7 The Change. I'm your host, DJ Kitty, here with my co-host, Miss Morningstar. We'll be right back after these quick commercial breaks.
Let's be real. Being a woman means juggling everything. Careers, families, goals, and somehow our health ends up last on the list. But what if your wellness came first? At Nutrition You Design, we believe healthy living shouldn't be complicated. From custom meal plans to one-on-one coaching and specialized lab testing, we're here to help you fuel your body and feel amazing every day. It's not about dieting, it's about thriving. It's about energy, balance, confidence, you. So if you're ready to feel stronger, healthier, and in control of your nutrition, let's do this together. Contact Nutrition You Design today and design a healthier you.
Welcome to a world that sparkles. Sparkle Kicks LLC is your one-stop shop for a wide variety of customized items. So bling out your Crocs, customize that cutting board, get you custom dominoes. Stop by and we will customize your order today. We can be found on Etsy and Our Plugs LLC. I'll be waiting to customize your order. All you need to do is place it.
Hey guys, yes, this is my nonprofit, Carter's Caring Hands. And what my nonprofit does, we give fresh food boxes to those families in need that's struggling to keep food on their tables. We also go out into the unhoused community, give out care bags here in the Kalamazoo, Michigan area. So if you'd like to donate to the cause, please go to www.carterscaringhands.com and donate whatever you can, so we together can uplift those families that's struggling to keep food on their tables. Highly appreciated. God bless.
Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Middleton, life and executive leadership coach and owner of Radiate Coaching and Development, where we provide transformational strength-based coaching and mentorship. My goal specifically is to support you in identifying your mission, your vision, and your values that help you take your power back as you are building your career. Whether it's within or outside of the corporate world, my goal is to really empower you in making decisions that work well for you. So if you want to reach out to me, by all means, you can email me at radiate@midspiration.com or check out my website at radiatecoaching.com.
And we are back. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7, The Change. Today we are talking to a couple of beautiful people. We're going to get into some alleged gossip. We're going to get into some politics. We're just going to chop it up. Did you have anything else you wanted to discuss, Ms. Morningstar?
No, I do, but I mean, we're going to bring the panel up and we're going to have some roundtable discussion. We're going to talk about it. So I'll bring up the crew today. Guys, get ready. Coming up in here.
So we have a full crew today. I'm going to introduce everyone and you guys can come off mute and then, say hello and say who you are. We're going to start with I Said What I Said. This is my sister who joins us every Friday, just about these last couple Fridays. Good morning. I said what I said.
Well, good morning, ladies, and good morning to everybody on the panel.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I hope your week was amazing.
Well, my week was fine, but you know what it is.
I know, girl. I know.
You gotta you start out having a good week, and then it turns, it just kind of sours your stomach when you pay attention to what's going on around you. So
Yep.
But other than that, I'm good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for joining us this morning. Next, we have Kim. Good morning, Kim. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, WKRA. How are you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
We doing really good. Bring that
yes.
energy, Kim. I love it.
Okay. Welcome.
Get it.
Let's go.
And then we have Chris. Good morning, Chris. How are you?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, WKRA.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How's everybody doing?
We're here. It's Friday. Yes. So, there's a lot of stories that we can get into, but the first story that I wanted to get into, and hopefully it doesn't take up the entire day, broadcast, but I wanted to talk about Carmelo Anthony. I know we've touched on some things, but his mother has made a statement, and I want to play what his mother has said and have, we can have a discussion on, what she's brought to the forefront, because I've heard several things which I try to keep my comments to myself and just listen and not judge. But there's a lot of people who are out here just judging and not listening. So let me see. Let me go ahead and play what his mom had to say. Hold on.
My name is Kayla Hayes. I am the mother of Carmelo Anthony. 3 years ago, my family moved to Narc, Texas, searching for a better life. Like so many other families, we wanted to give our children the future we did not have. My husband works hard every single day to provide for us, to make sure we're in the best financial position possible. As a stay-at-home mom, I made it my life's mission to ensure our children are loved, nurtured, and supported every step of the way. In wake of this tragic incident, our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Carmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about. The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation, from the police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what may happen to her. And let me be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received a single dime from the Give Sit Go fundraiser, and the co-founder has stated that clearly. In reality, we were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds, and it still takes several days to receive those funds once the request is made. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. He's been raised in a 2-parent home with structure, stability, capability, love, and we put God first in everything that we do.
I'm going to stop it right there. I am just so disgusted with the fact that you guys can come off mute. I'm so disgusted with the fact that she's right. You know, she didn't do anything wrong. Her husband didn't do anything wrong. Her children didn't do anything wrong. This was an incident between her son and two other boys who one of the boys in his autopsy report had narcotics in his system. Okay? Let's call a thing a thing. Her son was being attacked. Whether you want to believe it or not, he was being attacked over a seat. Someone told him to move. He didn't move, and they decided to attack him. He came back a second time, according to what I've read, and he defended himself. Now, I don't know how many times we are supposed to turn the other cheek, but this is 2025, and we're no longer turning the other cheek to be spat on because you feel like you want to make a, you want to act in a certain way. You want to, show that you're, I don't know. I don't get it. I'm not a bully. But the young man had every right to defend himself. And in the state of Texas, you can stand your ground.
You can stand your ground.
That's absolutely
the emotion, the emotion, the hurt, the fear, the just in that parent's voice. I felt every part of it. I got chills hearing her talk because she has other children. She has a husband. She has a family to run. And like she said, we didn't do anything. Why are we under attack? Why are my children being attacked?
Racism.
We know it. We know exactly what it is. But this is where people need to draw the line and need to stop these racist bigots. I'm tired of it, y'all.
I'm tired myself. He had every right to defend himself. Now,
Kitty, we lost you. He had every right to defend himself as he should have. He should have defended himself. Are we happy with the outcome? Absolutely not. Nobody wants to see anybody be lose their life. These are kids.
Exactly.
These are kids. Go ahead and jump in. I said what I said.
You're absolutely right. And so social media is just spewing lies and disinformation.
Mm-hmm.
And even from the Frisco Sheriff Department, because remember last week I told you guys that the Sheriff Department made a statement and that was totally false.
Right.
And so it just kind of make me step back and make me not, I really want to report on the story, but you don't know what to report because social media is spewing so many lies. And I watched the entire conference of that of the lady and the man that's representing them is from some type of national activism organization in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying how different content creators on Facebook and different platforms and on X is getting like 1 million views because they're spewing lies. And he kind of alluded to in my, the way that I took it, that he may, even be trying to, handle them in a certain way from spewing all the lies. But just like he said, we've had mass shootings across this country. We've had people, in Austin. Remember the guy ran over, people that was at a parade,
Mm-hmm.
and several guys doing mass shootings at schools. And when they raise funds, nothing is said about anything. Like that Kyle Rittenhouse. Remember, he drove from Michigan all the way to another state. Was it Charlotte, I believe?
He went to Minnesota.
He went to Minnesota. Yeah, to the Black Lives.
To the parade. It was
wasn't it the Black Lives March that he drove to?
Mm-hmm. It was.
Yeah, and unalive some people there. And remember, they all drew. They all raised funds, got him out of jail, and really, provided him with the defense and gave him the works.
Yeah.
And no one said a word about that. Now that Carmelo's Anthony is in this position, and DJ Kitty is absolutely right. Texas has a stand your ground law, and like the man that was up there representing them, I wish I would have gotten his name, but I didn't write his name down.
I didn't write his name down either.
He said that this case haven't even been indicted yet. It hasn't even went to the grand jury yet, but yet and still social media is making a big deal out of the family raising funds. And the family, she just said they didn't raise funds. Somebody else raised these funds for the family.
Exactly.
They haven't drew out not one dime, but let social media tell it. They're buying houses. They bought a home for over
They're just a lot.
$900,000.
It's just a lot of
That's
falsehoods.
just a lie. And for
Yeah.
people to actually
we should,
listen,
and most of us should know this by now. Because
Yes.
look what we dealing with this administration, full of lies.
yes,
Everything is a lie.
you're just gonna believe them. That's the problem. That's what's wrong now. People believe the lie, and look
Yeah.
where we're at. Look what we've got in office.
sick. It's sick.
Your
And
hate.
these is kids.
These
And,
are children.
And I'm tired of the racism.
Oh yes.
And when the head is, like Miss Morningstar said, the head is corrupt.
Yeah.
When the head is corrupt, it gives everybody else permission to feel like that they can act like they want to
Trickle
act,
down.
because we have some thugs in the White House, and
Yep.
let's call it what it is. These are thugs and gangsters and criminals and crooks in the White House, and it's all about the Benjamins and the
I hear it in
corruption.
the face.
Yeah,
And so,
I'm hearing some feedback. I don't know.
yeah,
if it's
somebody
somebody-
have something going on. I don't know who it is.
We have to mute when each other is talking. Go ahead. Did you want to bring Kim in? Kim in the conversation?
Sure. Kim, did you want to say something?
No, I just agree with everything you're saying. It starts with the head. He is spewing all kind of lies, and everybody's believing him. And they saying that he's doing all this wrong and getting away with it. So they're very blatant, very just out there in front of everybody doing what they want to do and saying what they want to say.
Absolutely. If they feel emboldened to do this. And it's not that Carmelo Anthony felt like, I'm going to go to this track meet and do this. Maybe he felt that he needed to protect himself. How many times was he supposed to get beat on?
Right. Bully bother him, go and bully him.
Yes. Maybe let's get to the root cause of why is this young man thinking that it's okay to bully another child. Maybe if that child didn't have narcotics in his system, he wouldn't think that it's okay to go and bully a child. Now let's put it in reverse. Let's put it in reverse. If this was a black child who went and jumped on a white child and they found narcotics in his system, and that white child decided to defend himself and unalive that black child because the black child kept jumping on him and beating on him, we wouldn't even be here. I don't think it would have even made no news. But because it's a white child who got unalived, unfortunately, because I don't want any child to pass. I don't want anybody to pass due to violence, period. But because it's a white child who succumbed to an inevitable, unfortunate circumstance that he created. Maybe his parents, while I read some things about how the parents should have done XYZ for Carmelo, how about the Metcalf's parents should have taught their kids to keep their hands to themselves and maybe not use narcotics, because the autopsy report says that he died unalive from a narcotics overdose, and then a stabbing. We just report the news. We don't make it. Don't get mad at us. It is what it is. How about what says you, Chris? You've been awfully quiet. I know you're waiting your turn. Let's
I was listening. I was making sure I was listening. I was making sure that the feedback wasn't coming from my phone, but no, I agree with everything you guys are saying so far.
Yeah, it's it's a sticky situation, and I'm gonna say this, and then we can move on. If you guys are willing, we can move on. But I'm gonna pray for all families and all people and parties involved, because this is an unfortunate situation and yet another amongst so many stains on the American society. And once again, we find ourselves butting heads when we should just say, these are children that got into an incident and it shouldn't have never happened. But instead, we're saying they've made it a black and white issue. And that is horrible.
And one more thing, DJ Kitty, you know the father came to the press conference,
Yeah, I
right?
know. He
And
sure did.
for what? Why did you come to the press conference? Because then you had to, they
Bully.
delayed the press conference. And yeah, the father did speak out, but he didn't say anything about the case. He was just he's just probably, he just basically gave us a description of his son and how he felt about his son, and about how his other son, how the son, he has a twin brother, and how the twin brother was trying to help save his life or what have you. But in my opinion, it was all for sympathy. And I know he's upset because, at the end of the day, let's keep it real. Both of those parents are losing their children.
Yes.
One child is never coming back, and the other child, even if the grand jury don't indict him, this will haunt him for the rest of his life.
Rest of his life.
The school is expelling him. And this guy has a 3.7 grade average. And like they said on the conference today, even if he don't go a day of school, he has enough credits to graduate. But Frisco ISD saw fit to expel this young kid just so that he won't graduate. And like he said, you guys are jumping into a fight that you didn't even need to be in. So why are you doing this? There was no reason for you to even insert yourself in this situation, because at this point, it's a law enforcement situation. It don't have anything to do with the school. What you should have done was had some teachers there in those bleachers, and maybe you could have prevented all of this from happening. So don't try to act after the fact when you didn't act before the fact.
Absolutely.
Don't react. You reacting to a situation that you should have been acting upon a situation. So,
Absolutely.
let me calm down. But
yeah,
at the end of the day, why are you trying to take his life away? Why are you trying to take away his education? The guy has worked very hard. Carmelo has worked very hard to have a 3.7 grade average. That is not easy to attain. School is not easy,
Yeah.
even though they're not really teaching our kids a lot. When you become a senior, and if you've had a 3.7 grade average, to me, that's an exceptional child. That's almost
Yeah.
4.0.
I'm
That's almost
I'm
perfect.
gonna say this. I said what I said. They can do what they want to do, but one thing they can't do is take that from him. That 3.7. They can't take that knowledge and his wisdom and his intelligence away from him. And however he graduates, whether it be at home school with his mother, or
Mhm.
however he gonna get that paper and he's gonna keep going. And
Yes, he is.
whatever the trials and tribulations that are to come, he's gonna be protected, and he's gonna go through whatever the process is. And we just gonna wait for justice to prevail, because at the end of the day, we know there's rules. There's laws, and he's awarded the same laws and rules that everybody else is, regardless of what these people out here being racist and bigoted and things, regardless of what they do.
Yeah.
Yes, his life is forever changed, and his family.
Yeah, forever changed. And we're in Texas.
Yes.
It's stand your ground. And if he was in fear of his life, what could he do? It's unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. I hate any of this has happened. However, it's going to take more than just a few words for this country to do an about face when it comes to things like this.
Well,
it's going to take.
let me just say this: they had no problem with George Zimmerman
They
when
had none.
he stood his ground, and Trayvon Martin just had a bag of candy, a bag of
No,
Skittles.
they
They had no
didn't.
problem with allowing him to use that law. So make it make sense for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just took me a drink of water, and I'm gonna have to agree with you because George Zimmerman, what's the other man? Kyle Rittenhouse. Yeah. Let's go ahead and go to the next. I agree. Let's go ahead and go to the next story. Again, prayers to all of those involved. I hope that the nation can heal, but until we come face to face with our discretions, our indiscretions, and take some accountability for what has gone on for centuries, how can we? I'm gonna leave it at that. We've got about 2 minutes before our next commercial break. Did you guys hear that RFK, did y'all hear what he did yesterday? He claimed that people with autism will never pay taxes, hold a job, or go on a date. So what is he trying to say? What they're not human enough to has he met Elon?
He is
That part.
I'm just asking, has he met Elon?
Have you met Elon?
Elon got how
Because
many
we
kids?
already know.
12, 13, 14. How many children he got?
He is definitely on the spectrum.
Have
Yes,
he
ma'am.
went to Walmart lately?
Oh, okay.
And a lot of other places that employ disabled people with autism and all other types of disabilities.
and I know some brilliant
I do
autistic
too.
people. First of all, a lot of them have brilliant minds.
Yes.
And regardless if they're verbal, and maybe it will become verbal later on in life or whenever they're ready, they have brilliant minds. Highly intelligent. It's not a disability. It's just I don't see it that way.
I got a question. Is this the same RFK who has a worm in his brain?
And maybe the worm's speaking for him.
Deep throat.
We're gonna go ahead and take a quick commercial break, but I was just wondering if this is the same RFK that has that worm rolling around in his brain. Somebody, I'm gonna look it up. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break. You're listening to Our Plugs, the community connection on WKRA 92.7. We'll be right back, folks. Opa May Simplistic Beauty is hair care and skincare in a bottle. Take a quick survey and let us design your own formula. Go to ourplugs.com, look for Opa May Simplistic Beauty, and we can get your formula out to you as soon as possible. We hope to hear from you soon. Have a great day.
Timeless elegance. Redefine class. Welcome to Morningstar Boutique by Tam, where fashion at its finest, fashion that brings out your inner cuteness, and styles that make you go, oh girl, where you get that from? Check me out at www.morningstarboutique.com or at ourplugs.com. Can't wait to see you.
And I'd like you to do one more thing for me. Hold up 2 fingers. This is you, and this is me, and the space that exists between us should be filled with value.
Equal, a global human initiative, and its value identity model.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. My name is Leslie Brown, and I am the owner of LG Brown Properties. I am a realtor, and I just wanted to pop in and say hi. If you know of anyone that's looking to sell, buy, or lease, I do it all. Give me a call. I am worldwide. If you are not in New Jersey, I have plenty of referral partners around the world. So, give me a call. 973-750-8430. Have an amazing day. Talk to you soon. Bye.
And we are back. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. Today we are just talking. We've got some awesome people who have joined us this morning, and we're just doing, some quick discussions on what's going on. And we just got through talking about RFK and his homeboy that lives in his brain, his worm. Yeah, and how I don't know if he's ever met Elon. Maybe he hasn't met Elon.
He met Elon. It got him saying delusional stuff, that little thing in his brain, because just picking on autistic people in general and saying something so bluntly wrong, just bluntly wrong. And saying it out loud is how irresponsible.
What's up? First of all, I can't even listen to him.
Me either, because I can't
say it again.
I can't stand it. It's like, what did he say? Somebody translate. Maybe he should have a translator instead of talking.
It's like, what's wrong with him? What kind of sickness does he have that he sounds like that?
Exactly. And you have the nerve to talk about autistic people. Autistic people are amazing. You, on the other hand, have a worm in your brain, and you're talking about as if they don't pay taxes. Boy, go sit down.
And you barbecue animals, dogs. I seen the picture.
Yes, it's pretty disgusting. I don't know. Some people. Did you guys want to bring up a story? Chris, do you have anything you wanted to talk about?
No, I was listening to you about RFK. So I would say my piece on that is that like most things, RFK didn't have any kind of comprehension of the different levels of autism. And so when he said they'll never write poems again, there are so many functioning, not the ones that aren't functioning aren't doing, like you said, amazing things, but there are so many levels of functioning autism that that people work within every day, at work in society, that he wasn't aware of. And he's also, to your point, Kim, the voice makes my stomach hurt. And I feel like he's just one of many in the cabinet that doesn't really, have any experience or anything to put them in a place where they should have an opinion that matters to the American people.
I agree. No opinion whatsoever. Maybe, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I feel like Trump is a wig and his cabinet are a bunch of cones, and they are just going along with the flow. They get snagged up every day. Every time they open their mouths, JD Vance out here breaking trophies. It's so embarrassing. The tariffs, China telling us all the secrets. It's so embarrassing.
Very. JD Vance has taken on this fake role as if he's this powerful leader, and it's not coming out presidential. It's coming out really suspect. Okay. We know you wear eyeliner every day. Sir, we're not scared of you. Nobody's afraid. I just can't stand all of this. Chris, I'm sorry. You were getting ready to say something. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just saying, so the general lack of education, yes, that's embarrassing as American people for the rest of the world. But also, when I was younger and I'd read things like Anne Frank, and I never understood how the functioning world could sit through things like the Holocaust or all these genocide. And then I see it in real time, which is what's going on now. And people are so complacent and nothing's going on. And there's so much badness going on. And while they are stupid, a lot of the stupidity is just distractions from what is really going on in the world, right? So yes, Trump makes a lot of dumb statements, and they do a lot of dumb things, and Katy Perry goes to space. Those are all stupid, and they are, but they're distracting from, like, there's a lot of very bad things that are going on that this administration is not bringing to light. That unless you're actually, reading what the executive orders are, and pay attention to what passes and what doesn't pass, everything that's going bad doesn't always get to the news, right? So like you guys said, you're reporting it, but some of the things you have to really dig in, and that's the problem. They're counting on, as Trump so proudly said, they love the uneducated, because the people that just listen and regurgitate talking points are the focused audience that he wants to get this nonsense to. And the people that are doing the research, those are the ones that are trying to silence.
We call them headline hoochies. The ones that just read the headlines and then they spew all the headlines. They don't
regurgitate it.
They don't dig into the depths of it. They don't go, well, what's this bill called? Like the SAVE. I don't hear enough people talking about the SAVED Act that he just signed into. He did an executive order for, because he hasn't done any legislation. Let's be clear.
No, and those executive orders only last for 90 days, and they're all being challenged. But right now, the next thing he's trying to do is make it so that the judges can no longer stop him and sue him. And that's what they're trying to get away with. So while they try and distract us, as Chris mentioned, with Katy Perry and Gail going up in space and Gail telling everybody, have you gone? Honey, no, I haven't gone. I'm busy trying to pay the bills. Okay? I haven't gone to space. No. And the time it took you to go up and come back down was the same amount of time it takes me to go to the ladies' room. You know, you didn't. It's not like you did something.
Kitty, you got 100.
So it was 11 minutes. It was 11 minutes, and they said, "Oh, now you're an astronaut." Well,
no,
I get it.
No, you're not.
I get it, but
No,
they didn't even pull any levers. They got mad that they called it a ride.
Wait a minute, didn't they get to the line? They didn't even enter into space. They got to the line.
They got to the line.
And I'm
They
tired
just
of
barely got out of the stratosphere, is what they did.
And I'm tired of all these tokens also.
You and me both.
Yeah. Every time you turn around, we have a new token that's supporting this administration in one way or the other. But you talked about the judges and the courts, and Agent Orange is gonna mess around, and he may find himself getting impeached. Because whenever you defy the courts, and you have this one judge in New York, the one George in New York, he's not Brago. Well, not it's the judge. It's the judge that's in New York, the one who told him to bring
Boris something.
Yeah, Boris somebody. The one that told him to bring back that immigrant that wasn't a criminal. The one that they arrested and sent to El Salvador by mistake. Yep. Well, not by mistake. It was by design.
By design.
So,
yeah.
So I hate to be the negative one, especially after all the positive affirmations this morning. But I would say that you're talking about checks and balances, but Project 2025, which is what's really being played out in real life, they kind of take that into consideration. So there aren't any checks and balances, which is why in 2016 they put in all these appellate court judges that are all Trump loyalists. And so while in years past you'd have the executive branch that did not report to the judicial branch, that did not report to and they could actually check themselves. Now, because you've got such a heavy presence of Trump loyalists, non-educated, super duper Republicans, that whole check system is not really applicable right now, right? Because anyone who's got a solid seventh grade education should see that Trump's done 47 things that are impeachable offenses. You actively change the Constitution, right? But these things are being allowed to pass because he's stacked the Supreme Court, which a couple months back, years ago, they made a big deal about it. But the Supreme Court stacked it, so the last kind of offense is not really an offense anymore. All the small state courts, like I said, things that don't get to the news. Before Biden left, he filled up these courts with a lot of Democratic, common sense judges, things that never made headlines, but that's what's kind of keeping some of the craziness at bay now. And as we are only 90 days into this presidency, I mean, a lot has happened. Imagine another 180 days. The judges can only do so much.
But this is a Trump judge, though. This is a Trump judge that's challenging him, and I do get your point, and you're absolutely right. He did put a lot of judges in place that wasn't qualified, just like the rest of his administration is not qualified. But that's the whole point. The point was to put people in places, put all of these chess pieces in places so that they wouldn't know what he was doing and they wouldn't care enough to challenge him. He wanted all yes men, and that's what he got, because
Well,
at the end of the
actually,
day,
I said what I said. Like, far as the judges that were put in
mhm.
place, what he was saying was Biden, and before Biden and Kamala left, they put
Yeah,
tons of
they
tons of
did,
federal judges.
but I'm
That's
saying
why
Trump's.
we
Yeah,
kind of
Yeah,
and
we're
that's why
kind of okay.
we're kind of
Kinda.
teetering. But Trump also put a lot of judges in
He
place
did.
the first time, remember?
he did,
And
Yeah,
they
he did.
wasn't qualified. A lot of those judges wasn't even
but
Look
you
qualified.
at
know
the one
what?
down in Florida.
But
She wasn't qualified.
let me
No,
say this real quick. But remember, he put some of those judges. Now we could exclude Cannon because we know she is already
Yeah.
right.
she has
Bought.
already
Drink the
fell
orange
off.
Kool-Aid.
She definitely is has lost her way. But those other circuits were not upholding his he was getting
Yeah.
turned down a lot by
Right.
those federal judges. Think about Circuit 11. I think that's based on Circuit 11. They were like, no, you can't do that. You gotta take this indictment. You got, when he was trying to fight
Exactly.
all of those indictments and stuff.
Indictments, yeah.
So he was not winning because he didn't do it the way. Now that he's in this position, he came in and he cleared everybody out to put people in place who would be loyalists, because this is part of Project 2025.
Exactly.
This
Exactly.
is the strategy.
And
Yeah.
like Michael Cohen said, whenever he was in business, he did the same thing. The chaos is the point. He liked
Yes.
chaos,
The
and
chaos.
that's the way that he operate, is in chaos. He have everybody fighting and competing against each other, and then the last person that's in his ear, that's the suggestion that he would take. But you can't tell me that this guy know anything about being the president. Any one of us on this panel probably can run the country better than he can,
Any of us.
He
because
knows he
everybody that
doesn't.
he have in place is not qualified, and then you have your press
The
secretary
the goal
up
the
there
goal
lying for him.
the goal, in my opinion, guys, is cruelty. The
Yes,
goal is cruelty.
And revenge.
It's not
and revenge.
about being the president. It's not about, and that these people who are in this cult and they are mesmerized by him, they are fans. They are fans of his, and they're mesmerized by this TV president. It's all an act, because everything about him is a showman. He's a showman. So it's really never been about, I want to save this country. I want to do something to help the people. He can care less about us. First of all, it's a class issue. None of us fit in his class category.
None.
If you're not a billionaire or millionaire, you don't fit.
And even if you're a millionaire, you better be a multimillionaire. I mean,
And
at
you
the
better
end of the
be
day, it's just it's
support of him.
only he cares. The only thing he cares about is money, and that is, if you think about it, that is the whole gist of our government, and has been for the past 30 years. That was the entire purpose of them outsourcing everything, every position that we could have, to other countries. So they built up other countries while decimating this one. We became a nation of consumers. And now look, a nation of consumers is like a parasite. You go to a body and you drain it dry, and then you go to the next thing. That's why they're trying to get Canada and Greenland. But at the end of the day, it is up to us to step up and say, no, this isn't going to work. You know, I appreciate China for showing Americans that, hey, you're paying $450 for a pair of Gucci slippers, and it only costs us $7 to make them. I'm glad that it's been exposed. Maybe, just maybe, those shareholders will wake up and say, let me develop something in my own country, develop my people, put the infrastructure back here, build roads and high-speed rail and companies here, instead of shipping it overseas because it's cheap labor. And maybe if we put some tax laws in place that penalizes these companies rather, but instead we are dealing with a administration who started a tariff war to drain 401ks and like people's life savings, just to flip at the very end and make a killing. They cleaned up.
Did y'all catch when he was telling his rich friends it's a great time to buy stock?
Yes. And Marjorie Taylor Greene sure went out there and bought, and a lot of other senators and
So,
House representatives. Go ahead, Chris.
and this is what I was talking about when I said there's no checks and balances, right? So once again, not even a college level politics class will tell you that's market manipulation. That's illegal, right? It's illegal all the way through. It'd be legal. Martha Stewart went to jail for way less than that.
Right.
If you guys remember that, I mean, way less than that. So he put it on his social media that this is the time to buy, blah blah blah. That is textbook market manipulation. But because we don't have any backbone judges right now in the court that are going to do anything about it, we don't have any Congress or any Senate that's going to do anything about it. We get what we have, where everybody just makes billions of dollars, and we talk about it like, that's crazy, but there's no real, consequence to what he's done, and which is why he continued to act with impunity, and it makes all these other people feel emboldened and able to continue to act the same way.
Did you see him at Mar-a-Lago when he was asking them how many millions of dollars they made and billions of dollars they made?
I saw that.
Bragging.
Bragging about them making money. Yes.
In our face. And you've got all these people who have lost everything, and you're just like, oh well, we made our money.
And
he's also talking about putting American citizens in El Salvador, which is also illegal and unconstitutional. But they televised that, and somehow everybody was okay with that, and we still act like nothing happened. I mean, it's every time I see a new news story, it's not comical, but I always feel like, am I being punked? Is this real? And they used to have those parodies where it was not real, but now every story feels like that because the things that they're allowed to get away with, it's mind blowing.
But see, I don't think they're getting away with it. He's going to get away with it, but you watch and see. It's just going to be like the Nixon administration. He's the only one that's not going to go to jail, but everybody else that's, executing these plans for him, they better be careful and they better watch out, because I can guarantee you, if we make it and still be America when he finished and not be a dictatorship, then they better watch out, because you can rest assured they're coming after those people. And so they can sit there and be his flunkies all they want. But ignorance of the law is, and just because you work for this president and you know right from wrong, I don't feel like that's going to save them. And also, he's still fundraising off of his supporters.
Grifting.
Right? No, I get that.
He's still grifting off of his supporters, talking about he need money to help fight China.
But that's a lot of ifs. If this happens, and he's trying to run for a third term, which is once again also unconstitutional. But the things that any other president, like I said, if Obama had even posited, hey, you know what, maybe I'll run for a third term, America would have lost their mind, right? But they joke about it, and now it goes from a joke to like maybe they're doing it. So remember, we're 90 days in, but by 6 months in, by a year and a half in, it may be he'll have someone trying to pass this where he can run for a third term. All these things. If
he does, so does Obama. If he does,
correct.
So does Obama.
But he bring it up so that you can get used to it. See, he playing like it's a joke, and
they're
bringing it in the forefront. Yeah, they're bringing it in the forefront so you can get used to it.
Everybody, and that's what I feel like. It's the break you stage.
Yeah,
like everything he's doing, destroying the stock market, destroying this, doing that. I'm gonna break them. It's like an old technique. You break somebody down so bad that you don't have no choice but to eventually go with your flow.
Yes, go with your flow.
And why not enter? Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Maybe that people want me to run for a third term, even though he know it's unconstitutional. But we already know he doesn't even believe in the Constitution. He said that in his first term, that he wished he can just get rid of the Constitution. How quickly we forget about who he was prior to becoming again the president. So these are skills. He's a marketing man. That's one thing he does know how to do is market. And he's just marketing himself. And he has a nice group of people who drank the Kool-Aid, Like my friend Zeus says, the baby, if he pour that Kool-Aid and they all drink it, it's gonna be Nikes in the air because they follow everything he says to the point.
The man said the other day, if he tells us to jump and
We
scratch our
better do
head,
it.
we gonna jump and scratch our head.
Yeah.
What type of man are you to say this about
That was
another man?
somebody.
Are you crazy?
That was a congressman, wasn't it? Someone,
Yes.
a senator.
A senator.
Senator.
And even the senator that went over, Mark Van Hollen, he went over from Maryland. He went over to El Salvador to try to get that guy out. And do you know they wouldn't let him even in the prison?
I want to see if the man is still alive.
They wouldn't let him
I'm just
talk to
saying
him.
that. You know,
They
I'm
wouldn't let him talk to him.
terrified. Worst case scenario, the reason why they can't bring him back is because it's impossible. You know,
What I
and
what I
that's
will
what scares
say
me.
is that Auschwitz was not in Germany, right? And so that's what's going on here. You tell me how a camp has room for unlimited occupancy and never
40,000.
releases anybody. You figure it
Right.
out. I mean, the math doesn't math, right? And that is what Auschwitz was. Germany shipped everybody to Poland, and that's where they did the things because they wanted them out of the country, and then they were non-responsible for what happened out of that. So that is what you saw on TV just the other day. He said, I don't know what's going on, and I have no control. And then the other person says, I don't know what's going on, and I can't have no control. And so they both have that sort of plausible deniability, but essentially. That's what happened. You shipped a human to another place, and now no one knows what's going on. I think I would agree, DJ, that they can't bring him back because they're probably impossible.
It's impossible to bring him back. And
Yeah,
that's
because the president said he wasn't going. The president of El Salvador said he wasn't going to bring him back, and Trump said that he couldn't get him back, although he had him in the Oval Office. But the point of all of this is to make us fall in line, let him be a dictator, and we have two classes: either you super rich or you super poor, and that's why he's trying to rob America, and that's what all of this Project 2025 crap is about. It's about everybody falling in line. But at the end of the day, some of his supporters are turning on him now. They're very remorseful for how they voted for him,
well, it's about
especially the
time.
farmers. And now they want to be all on social media. Well, we didn't vote for this, we didn't vote for that, but
You
you were
voted for
okay.
hate. You
Huh?
voted for hate.
Right. You were
So
okay when you thought it was going to hurt everybody else, but now that it's hurting you, you're not okay with the vote, with the choice that you made, and now it's too late.
Yeah.
I think it's
Go ahead,
time
Chris.
to normalize asking people who they vote for. So I know everybody doesn't talk about politics, but like no matter what side you're on, morally, if you were okay with even a percentage of what you heard on TV that Donald Trump had said and done and known and was televised, and you still voted for that in the hopes that you may have at the time lower egg prices, you are not a good person.
You are
Period.
not.
So that gauges kind of where we are in life with things, right? That you thought that was going to be an even fix to get 30 cents off your eggs to put this felonious sexual assaulter in the White House after like the first horrible run he had. So it is what it is for me.
I agree. So we've got the last 30 seconds. We're about to end the show, the broadcast. Number one, I want to thank you guys for showing up. It was a quick show. Your voices matter. Our voices matter. We appreciate you tuning in. I want to thank those that were in the chat on YouTube. Those are our listening friends out on WKRA, Holly Springs in Memphis, Tennessee. But before we end, I want to say, I said what I said. Last 15, 20 seconds, would you like to get your last words in?
Yeah, I just like to say thank you for inviting me, and I enjoy these conversations that we
Absolutely.
have every week. And
Every
you guys
week.
have a great weekend.
You too, and happy Easter if you indulge. And hopefully we'll see you next Friday. Next Friday, I'm gonna leave that open on the table. You just let me know.
I just got to remember that we do Thursday on Friday. That's all. I just
Yes.
forgot about it.
I got you. Kim, any last words before we end?
I thank you for having me on this morning. This has been great. Conversation. Let's just keep it moving, and I'm ready. I'll be back anytime that you will have me on the show.
Absolutely. And Chris, any last words?
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning. Happy Easter. I will just say, don't watch nonsense. Speak up, say things, be positive, and then, have conversation with people that don't know. It's the only way they can know what you know. So,
Absolutely. And my sis, Miss Morningstar, go ahead and come off mute. What is it that you'd like to say?
I just want to thank everybody, the panel, for coming in today and speaking their truth because, like she said, conversations have to be had, guys. It's uncomfortable. It may be very challenging to hear. You might be out there, a person who voted for Trump, but you got to hear these conversations because this is our reality. And I just want us to all, make it through this, which we will. But we definitely need to grind and gather as a community and help each other out. You guys have a wonderful weekend. Take some of those affirmations.
Weekend.
Get
Yes,
some
please
sun.
get some sun. Enjoy your family. Enjoy those that you love. I want to invite everyone to please continue to join in. We appreciate you all so very, very much. Miss Morningstar and I, we started this journey a couple months ago, and we can't say thank you enough to WKRA 92.7, our listeners, the station owner, Raven. We truly appreciate you, and we thank you for this opportunity. You guys have a wonderful and blessed weekend. Enjoy your family, and we will see you next week on Our Plugs, the Community Connection. Hey y'all, it's DJ Kitty
and Miss Morningstar.
We are here from Our Plugs, the Community Connection, and we will be your new morning host on WKRA 92.7 The Change.
Yes, we will be broadcasting Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time.
We'll also be streaming on YouTube at Our Plugs LLC.
Be sure to tune in.
Hey y'all, it's DJ Kitty. Don't drop.